See the difference? It's pretty staggering. In your weapon wheel, it can be kind of annoying having to scroll through every single type of weapon to get to the weapon that you want, especially if you're using the arrow keys on your D-pad. Instead, for my controller players out there, did you know that you didn't actually have to use the arrow keys on your D-pad for this? You can actually use your right and left trigger, or L2 and R2. So for example, if you just hover over your heavy weapon, you don't need to take your fingers off the analog sticks and press the D-pad. Instead, just use
San Andreas can be seen by outsiders as a picture-perfect state that has it all. A diverse city with people from all walks of life, chasing the American dream while spending a fortune doing so. Los Santos. A desert oasis filled with the very same people who came into San Andreas state seeking the dream life, only to realize that life can be harder than expected sometimes, and ultimately chose to reside in Blaine County, a farm town to the northeast side of Sandy Shores. A decent life for those who are willing to put in the work, or at least it was in the past, known as Grapeseed. And a small town to the far north of San Andreas, a decent life without all the hustle and bustle of the city, or the depression-inducing life of the desert called Paleto Bay. The sad truth is that sometimes our dreams can be unrealistic. We can't all live the high life in Vinewood driving a new Pagasi every week. We have to realize that maybe the countryside of San Andreas is the answer to all of our problems. Please leave a like and subscribe for the fantastic YouTube algorithm, and let's dive in. Although it may not look like it, Blaine County and the surrounding area was once a very different place in the past. It was a getaway resort county where Vinewood stars would go during the summer and take in the San Andreas sun that we all know and love. Some even opted to live here full-time and support the many small businesses that once called Blaine County home. At one point, in Sandy Shores alone, a town in Blaine County once had a population of 3,010 people, as indicated by the signs on the town borders. A major point of interest and a large driver of the economic activity of Sandy Shores is the lake that the town resides next to. Just imagine owning a lakeside home in Grapeseed, skipping the traffic and opting to just boat over to Sandy Shores and dock at the boathouse, enjoy the day at Sandy and boat back home. Sounds nice, doesn't it? But maybe you're not feeling the lake today. Well, luckily for you, the ocean is just a short drive to the east. Tow your boat right on over and launch your boat into the Pacific Ocean. Maybe you're not such an ocean person, however. Well, the Chiliad Wilderness is just a short drive to the west. You can enjoy the local trails and the wonderful waterfalls and river, or take on the challenge of ascending the famous Mount Chiliad. Or maybe you want your monthly human interaction. Well, the Harmony Strip is a nice place to go to relax. Maybe get your car fixed while you're at it and walk off all those up and atom calories. Blaine County and the surrounding area was simply paradise until it wasn't. You see, the problem wasn't ever the people of Blaine County. If anything, the people who lived here were shaped by the environment that they saw, that was present. Over time, Blaine County started to deteriorate due to the mega corporations that polluted the area like a cancer, never going away until it was too late. You see, the Alamo Sea was a main driving factor to the success of Sandy Shores and Grapeseed. When the water became unsafe to swim and even fish in, a large quantity of tourists were instantly lost. Trash and debris can now be seen sitting alongside the shoreline of the Alamo Sea, as the people who now live in the area seem to have made the lake their own personal landfill. This may not be entirely their fault though, as I doubt a trash truck comes every Wednesday to pick up the trash created by the residents, or at all even. So the Alamo is the only option. The local runway also became run down as traffic wasn't as common as it once was, now being used as a runway for local drug runners, which also became a major problem in Blaine County. See, when a town like Sandy sees more people leave than entering, the local government has two options. Let it drift off into the unknown, deeming it a total loss, or try to foster a greater environment for the future, make regulations tougher on corporations, and penalize them for what they have done so that it never happens again. Unfortunately, they did not choose the second option, leaving Sandy Shores in the mud, using its downfall to their advantage. When Sandy became run down, the authorities saw an opportunity. The drug runners were inevitable. There would be no sure-proof way to prevent it. So they thought to just cut them a deal. In fact, help them smuggle drugs across the countryside. Turns out it's real easy to run illicit goods when there's Rockstar is known in the
GTA universe to bring back old characters from some of the prior games to give that nostalgia feeling and also give us an update on that character as well. So in this video, I have found every character that meets the criteria to come back for GTA 6. Now, the criteria is as follows. The character has to be from the HD universe, so basically GTA 4 and up. If you want to go further back than that, I guess you could, even if they were in that universe, but it wouldn't make sense. All the characters in the games prior from that, their stories are already concluded or are just too old at this point. It doesn't make sense to bring them back, so I don't think they will. And plus, Rockstar Games actually admitted themselves that the reason GTA 3 is not part of the HD universe, and thus why the HD universe is not bigger, is that mostly all of the previous characters are dead. That, and they thought that GTA 4 was a high-definition experience, and thus required no patch, thus HD universe, high-definition universe. The second criteria, which I've already hinted at, is the character has to be alive and relatively young. For example, Agent ULP is still alive, but at this point he is pretty old and likely retired if anything. These are characters that maybe could come back, but are just highly unlikely. So I'll give them an honorable mention towards the end to discuss those. And also, if their role is just too small, they're strangers at Creek, or they only appeared in like one mission, or they have one phone call, they won't be in this video. But now let's get into it. Thank you to my channel members as well, and enjoy. First, we of course have Niko Bellic. Niko is just an icon of the GTA series, but unfortunately some things are keeping Niko out of the GTA 6 timeline from what I'm seeing. First off, a lot of people think that Michael Hollis, the man who voiced Niko Bellic, is not on good terms with Rockstar. It actually isn't true. They think that because he complained that Rockstar didn't give him enough money, which is true, but he more so blames the actor with his time for not negotiating him a better deal, royalties and etc., money from each game sale. He didn't get any of that, so he wasn't paid that much in GTA 4, which is speculated why he didn't return to GTA Online or GTA 5, and that is the reason. So as far as his personal relationship with Rockstar, I think it is
Oh.
and he definitely could. Dying, that is the canonical ending, but we don't really have a confirmation from that. But just from what I see, I'm pretty sure that that is the case. I don't think Niko Bellic will betray his roles and work with Dimitri after seeing the absolute scumbag that Dimitri is. He wouldn't go back and work with him. So I think that Roman is still alive. But his story is relatively concluded. I don't see him coming back to GTA 6, but once again, he hypothetically could. Next up, we have Brucey. Brucey actually did make an appearance in GTA Online in the Diamond Casino and Resort update, but it was a very small role. He didn't really have any missions tailored towards him. He was just in a couple of cutscenes with Shane Jr., and that was about it. But given Brucey's image and his party-like habits, I could see him actually being in GTA 6 because Vice City is, of course, a party city. And Bullshark Testosterone will likely be in GTA 6 as well, or maybe some version of it. So I actually could see Brucey coming back, and I actually would like to see him come back as well. Next up, we have Wayne. Wayne is in GTA 4, and he is a killable character, but it's either you kill him or you kill Playboy X. This is assuming that Niko kills Playboy X. I don't think that Niko would kill Wayne, because Niko even told Wayne that he reminds him of his old self, or his younger self. Why would he kill Dwayne after saying that? And he sees all the stuff that Dwayne has gone through. All the people that backstabbed him kind of gave him just a bad experience once he got out of jail. He took care of everyone, and when he got out, nobody was there for him. Niko definitely empathizes with that, and Playboy X is very cocky. From what I see, Niko doesn't really like that at all. So I don't see Playboy X coming back, or matter of fact,
need the strength to keep going. New Tiger, tumutulong magbigay ng lakas para mas kayanin nila.
Kaya pa!
In GTA 5 Online, there are a lot of NPCs, and there are a lot of NPC facts that you probably didn't know. So today, here are 50 that you probably didn't know in GTA 5 Online. And if you do enjoy this video, please subscribe and leave a like. It really helps me out. Maybe even become a channel member like these fellas here. And let's get on with the video.
Defend yourself against DDoS attacks by hiding your... investing in and grinding this business to make money. So the money laundering business comes in 3 separate purchases: the car wash, the Higgins heli tours, and smoke on the water. The main one you want is going to be the car wash deal. The other 2 are honestly pretty bad in my opinion, but we'll get into why that is later in the video. The income you earn from this business is divided into 2 parts: the passive side and the active money laundering side. There's also a heat meter system where as you do more illegal work, eventually it's going to stop producing income because the heat is too high and you'll have to do a legitimate mission to reset the heat bar. But let's start off by talking about the safe income. The safe income is entirely passive, and the amount that you earn per in-game day or every 48 minutes is dependent on how many other businesses or properties you own. The max safe income that you can get is $32,250 per day, and that can be earned by owning every possible business in the game and upgrading the passive income of the other 3 new businesses. And you do that by completing 15 laundry missions at each of the businesses, or by completing 15 Mr. Favor missions overall. The Mr. Favor missions specifically I'll talk about in another video because those are more like contact missions, but this video will just be covering the free mode parts of the new business. The unfortunate part is that the maximum amount of money that you can have in your safe is only $100,000, so if you're running the business maxed out at that $32,000 cap, then you'll only get about 3 full days of income from the safe before having to go to the business to claim the money. So I kind of wish it at least had $150,000 of maximum capacity before you had to go and collect it. The other thing that sucks about the safe income is that you need to own a small and medium warehouse to get the maximum daily income. A lot of us own 5 large warehouses, so we kind of get shafted here, which I think is kind of stupid. If anything, this should just change to just owning 3 warehouses in general. Why do we get penalized for owning the more expensive warehouses to begin with, as opposed to 1 large, 1 medium, and 1 small? But that is the passive income side of the business, just earning daily money dependent on your other businesses that you have up and running. And yes, that means they cannot be shut down. They actually have to be up and running, but it doesn't mean they have to be stocked full of supplies. And we'll discuss later how the heat mechanic plays into all of this. Now let's head over to the active side, the money laundering side of the business. Each money laundering mission will pay $35,000. Right now it might seem like it's paying way more than that, especially if you have GTA Plus. That's because it currently has a 4 times money boost on it for GTA Plus members. And with the current event week, it's paying double money for everyone. So you'll either be making $140,000 per mission if you have GTA Plus, or $70,000 per mission if you don't. But the normal base pay is $35,000. And you don't get this money directly after the mission is over, like other free mode events or free mode missions. You have to wait for it to be laundered, and then it will appear in the bag in the car wash property for you to go and collect. The time it takes to launder the money is dependent on how many of the new businesses that you own. If you own all 3, then it will only take 8 minutes to get your money. If you only own 1 other business aside from the car wash, then it's 9. And if you only own the car wash, then it's going to be 10 minutes. The max capacity of the bag in the car wash is $1 million, which you will likely never hit outside of the 4 times money bonus with GTA Plus right now, so you probably won't ever have to worry about that. The laundry missions also have no cooldown, which is very nice, so you can start them over and over again. And they can also be requested from just calling RAF on your phone, so you don't have to go back to the business over and over again either. And yet another positive is that you do not have to be registered as a CEO or MC president to partake in this business. However, the one downside is that each laundry mission you do will increase your heat level, so you can't just spam them infinitely. So how does this heat mechanic work exactly? Each individual business, the heli tours, the car wash, and smoke on the water, have individual heat levels. They are not shared across one another, and each laundry mission you do will increase the heat by 5% at the start of a mission, and another 5% at the mission completion time. So if you complete a mission, that is 10% heat added to that specific business, which means you can only do a maximum of 10 laundry missions before having to reset the heat. Doing a Mr. Favor mission will also give 10% heat to whichever business you started the mission from. And finally, heat will increase passively every 48 minutes.
Ang dami ko nang hiniraman pero wala daw sila extra. Need na need ko pa naman para sa operasyon ni Lola.
Need a helping hand? Sagot ka ni Watson.
100? Paano ba mag-apply dyan?
Madali lang. With just one valid ID, pwede ka na makahiram ng up to 15,000 pesos. Mababa lang din ang daily interest rate na 0.025% at up to 9 months pa ang repayment terms.
Safe ba naman yan?
Oo naman, SEC registered si One Hand Cash sure na safe at legit.
Paano ba mag-apply?
I-click ang link sa baba to download One Hand app.
Also, and the amount that the heat increases is dependent by how many businesses that you own. If you own just the car wash, it's 10% per in-game day. If you own 2, it's 9%, and if you own all 3, it's 8% heat every in-game day. But there is a catch here, because if any of the 3 businesses are capped on heat, then that 1% bonus goes away. So if you own all 3 businesses, for example, but the Heli Tours and Smoke on the Water are maxed out on heat, then it's still going to go up 10% per day. When you are maxed out on heat at the Heli Tours or Smoke on the Water, you only lose that passive income that you get from those 2 businesses, so it's not that big of a deal. You'll just lose a couple $1,000s. However, if you reach maximum heat at the car wash, you will lose all 30,000 passive income per day until you clear that heat. So it will just stop producing income entirely until the heat's gone. And to clear the heat, you just simply complete a legitimate mission for the business. For the car wash, it's just driving to get someone's car and washing it and returning it. The Heli Tours is just a Heli Tour, who would have guessed. And for the weed business, it's post-stop delivery 2.0. You'll have to do one legitimate mission, though, to completely clear your entire heat level back to 0. And then you can just start grinding the actual money-making missions again. And so that's kind of the gameplay cycle. You do a bunch of the laundry missions, make some money there, and then when the heat level's full, you do a legit mission, get paid hardly anything for those. Let's say like $1,000, but they clear the heat level, so you can then do the missions that actually make you money again. Lastly, let's go over some bonuses that you get just for owning the new businesses. If you get the car wash, you get a permanent 35% heat level back to 0. And to clear the heat level back to 0. And then you can just start grinding the actual money-making missions again. And so that's kind of the gameplay cycle. You do a bunch of the laundry missions, make some money there, and then when the heat level's full, you do a legit mission, get paid hardly anything for those. Those pay like $1,000, but they clear the heat level, so you can then do the missions that actually make you money again. Lastly, let's go over some bonuses that you get just for owning the new businesses. If you get the car wash, you get a permanent 35% increase to your counterfeit cash MC sell missions. If you own Smoke on the Water, you get a 35% boost to your weed MC sell missions. And the Heli Tours business gives you a permanent 10% boost to your hangar cargo sell missions. So some pretty good bonuses if you do use those specific businesses. Now those are all the statistics for the new business, and the reason that I wanted to wait a bit before making a guide is because I need time to really grind out the business to get a feel for if it's really worth it in the end, and to come up with some good strategies I can give to you guys as well. And ultimately what I found out was that the Heli Tours and Smoke on the Water are pretty much useless. If you don't grind MC businesses anymore to take advantage of that 35% boost to your weed sales, then there is very little value given to you for owning Smoke on the Water, aside from the small amount of passive income it gives to your main car wash daily income. The money laundering missions for the weed business are okay, but still not as good as the main car wash. The legit mission to clear heat for the weed business is absolutely atrocious. You drive around in this slow van and deliver weed. It triggers heavy PTSD from the post-stop van missions that were just removed. So as far as I'm concerned, Smoke on the Water definitely gets the nickname shit in the toilet for me. It's just really not worth it. I guess one thing I could mention is that it also gives you access to a daily collectible, which I mean, no one is going to really waste time doing this after they get the first set for the achievement anyways. The Heli Tours business, you could argue, has a bit more value to it. Just being able to spawn your personal helicopters here is a really nice bonus alone. Hangar cargo is also much better than any MC cell mission too, especially the weed business. And the Heli Tours mission to clear heat is not nearly as bad as the weed delivery, despite it being basically a helicopter MC cell mission where you're going to different yellow areas in a helicopter. I still likely wouldn't grind out the Heli Tours business though. The main area of grinding you're going to be doing with this business is from the main car wash itself. I think this place has the best laundry missions that take the shortest amount of time, except for one. If you get the mission where Raph mentions the stockade, just hit that pause button really quick and find a new session and just eat that 5% heat loss. That mission takes forever. Most importantly though, the heat clear mission is not that bad for the car wash. Getting the Vinewood Hills location does kind of suck, but it's by far the least likely one to put you to sleep, because at least you get to drive some of the new cars, or if you get lucky, drive some fast cars too. It's a bit like doing import-export if it only gave you the easy missions for import-export. And yeah, having to sit through the 30-second car wash animation does suck, but sometimes you can completely skip the car wash animation like I somehow did here. And I think there could be a way to potentially replicate this for speedrunning purposes, but I haven't figured out the secret sauce yet to get that to work consistently. Honestly though, after the event ends and it ends up only paying $35,000 per money laundry mission, I just can't see myself doing these missions ever. My heat will probably just end up maxing out and the business will fade into nothingness as I completely forget it's there after losing my passive income. I kind of wish they got a little more complex with the heat mechanic, like letting us pay the police off to reset our heat instead of having to do a legit mission. Or even better, if we completed the Cluckenbill raid for Vincent before, we could call him and have him slash our heat down every now and then as a favor for helping him out. To me, more.
There are dragons everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Download Dragon City and start collecting today.
Do you want to make millions of dollars in GTA Online completely solo? Well, I've tested every method out there, and these are the 10 best money makers that still work in GTA Online in 2025. Whether you're broke or you're already grinding, this will level you up fast and point you in the right direction. Drop a like on the video, consider subscribing. Let's go ahead and get into it. Starting off with the first way to make money, and that is through the salvage yard business. The salvage yard is a somewhat newer business in GTA Online built.
I'm starting fresh in GTA Online.
Built around vehicle heists, and while it has a ton of potential, Rockstar has been a bit stingy with the best part of it, which is being able to actually keep some of the heist vehicles for yourself. That was a huge selling point for this business at launch, but lately it feels like Rockstar has dialed it way back. Honestly, I can't remember the last time a vehicle from the weekly lineup was available to be claimed. Maybe 3 months ago. Still, even if you can't keep the cars, you can sell them, and they do pay pretty well. You're typically looking at about $400,000 for the top tier vehicles, $250,000 for the mid tier, and about $150,000 to $225,000 for the lower end vehicles. Now, the downside is that the lineup rotates quickly and it does not replenish during the same week, so you have to wait till the next week to be able to steal more vehicles, which means you're limited to what Rockstar has in rotation, which does put a cap on how much money you can consistently make with the salvage yard in that regard. However, in my opinion, the real MVP of this business is the tow truck. A lot of people think it's a waste of time, but I disagree. It's an optional upgrade for the business, but 100% worth buying. Tow truck missions are super quick, usually taking about 2 to 4 minutes, and they're a solid, repeatable way to earn money. If you get a mission that's too far out, you can always blow up the tow truck, which cancels it, and then you can relaunch it later, though there is now a 2-minute cooldown between missions, so you do have to keep that in mind. Each vehicle you tow earns between $32,000 and $40,000 after 48 minutes, and with both lifts installed through the upgrade menu on the salvage yard, you can finish a full salvage cycle for one vehicle in 48 minutes, instead of the default 96 if you didn't have both lifts. The salvage yard also comes with a passive income wall safe, which pays you up to $24,000 every in-game day, depending on how many tow truck jobs you've done recently. If you run a tow truck job every 2 days, the safe will generate the full $24,000 per in-game day, which it maxes at for 2 days. Now, the safe amount will drop off if you slack, but it'll still generate a little bit of money. It'll just be slowly going down as time goes on. Now, even if you're not grinding the heists constantly, tow missions and passive income make this a solid addition to your business lineup, and for those reasons, I recommend the salvage yard to you. I think it is a really good business. At number 9, we have the Car Wash, Smoke on the Water, and Higgins Heli Tours. All 3 of these were added with the Money Fronts DLC, which has just come out in GTA Online, and each one boosts the value of another business's product, but they also generate passive.
Hi buddies, we've got a new game to play. It was born to be famous. It is a multiplayer MMO mobile game developed by a legendary developer based on Unreal 5 and Norse mythology. Whether it is the graphics, light effects, textures, or in-depth optimization of the game, it is the best of the best. If you are a casual player, you can become a fisherman or a profitable miner. You can also freely explore various puzzles in the world and open treasure chests to get rewards. As long as you are hardworking, whether it is upgrading or obtaining materials, it will be the fastest. If you like cooperation, you can also go to the dungeon with multiple people online.
Income themselves. The car wash has a safe that fills up depending on how many businesses you own. Mine pays me $26,500, though some players are getting $30,000. Not really sure why. I do have every business in the game, but maybe I just don't have it optimized correctly. However, either way, it's good passive money. Now, unfortunately, it also raises your business's heat level 10% daily whenever you get paid, and you will need to manage that. Each location also lets you earn dirty money, which increases the heat drastically, and heat is tracked separately for each business, so you are managing all three at once. Now, to reduce it, you're going to need to complete legitimate work for the business, which is tedious, but it keeps the passive income flowing, which is good. Where the real value comes in with these businesses, though, is in the boosts. The car wash increases the counterfeit cash profits by 35%. Smoke on the Water boosts the weed farm profit by 35%. And Higgins Heli Tours adds 10% value to hangar cargo. They're worth owning just for that. And these businesses are definitely something that you should be picking up if you don't have them already. At number 8, we have the Auto Shop, and the Auto Shop is a super friendly solo business with 3 money-making methods. The main one is going to be Auto Shop contracts, which pay between $150,000 to $200,000 each. They're fun, pretty straightforward, and take around 20 minutes to complete. When they're on bonus, they're one of the best solo money methods in the entire game. Then there's also the customer deliveries. You'll get cars that'll spawn inside your auto shop every 48 minutes that need modifying and delivering. You can do it yourself, or you can let the staff deliver it. The staff were pretty useless at launch, but Rockstar have patched them a couple of times now, and now they usually succeed with the deliveries, and you will get near the full amount almost all the time. Even if they don't give you the full amount, the difference is so small that it's usually worth letting them handle the deliveries because you can make up the money by doing some other activity in online. Finally, there's also exotic exports. 10 high-end cars spawn daily, and you can deliver them to the docks for $20,000 each. And if you get all 10, you will get a $100,000 bonus. Now, this is not something that I recommend to grind, but it's a nice bonus if you're already in free mode. Overall, the Auto Shop is a pretty clean and easy, low-effort moneymaker for solo players, and for that reason, I do recommend it. Next up, we have MC Businesses at number 7. With the Money Friends DLC, MC Businesses have gotten way better. To get started with the MC Businesses, you'll need to buy a clubhouse. You can skip pretty much all the upgrades, but you should get the custom bike shop if you get it in a semi-convenient location. This will allow you to do customer bike deliveries and earn $50,000 every 48 minutes by delivering the bike to customers, which is pretty good. Through the clubhouse, you can buy 5 potential MC businesses, namely document forgery, weed, counterfeit cash, meth, and coke. Buy them through your clubhouse computer. The Rockstar has removed the delivery bans from sale missions and extended the solo timers from 30 to 45 minutes for the sale missions, which are both absolutely massive improvements, but mainly the delivery bans being removed is the best improvement they've done to date. Don't steal supplies for your MC businesses unless your business is not upgraded yet. Document forgery is the worst business of them all. You don't need it. Skip it. Weed is now a lot more viable if you own Smoke on the Water, like we talked about a little bit earlier. If you do own Smoke on the Water, it will boost your profit to $222,000 per sale. So still the 4th best MC business, but it is making you 35% more money now. Meth will earn you a profit of $281,000 if you buy supplies, but it's no longer the 2nd best. Counterfeit cash is now actually better due to owning the car wash. And if you do that, you will earn $293,000 in profit every time you sell it when it's full. But of course, coke is still the best. It earns $525,000 in about 5 hours of time, profiting $360,000 even after buying supplies. The MC businesses have got a huge bump with this last update, and I definitely recommend owning them now. It's cool to see that they're actually going to become a
Once the dragon you hear the call of Altria. Will you rise and fight one more time? The all-new Dragon Nest Mobile is launching soon. Classic maps fully remastered.
Viable option to make money in GTA Online now. A lot of people have abandoned them, but that is not going to be the case for much longer because they are so much better now. Next up, we have the hangar, and the hangar gives you access to air freight cargo, which is where the money comes from with this business. It used to be one of the worst businesses in the entire game, but Rockstar made some pretty big improvements over the years. They tripled the payouts of the crates. Each crate is now worth $30,000 to start. And with the stacking bonuses, you can go up by 5% to 70% value on each of these crates. Now, the best cargo types to source are medical, narcotics, and chemicals, and if you get 25 of one of those types, you will earn 35% more money for each crate. And if you get 50 of the same type, it is a 70% bonus. Now, there are 50 total crate slots in the hangar, so make sure you choose wisely with which one you choose to source. I would go medical, narcotics, or chemicals, but only do one. Only do medical, only do narcotics, or only do chemical. That is your only option. Land-based source and sell missions have also been added to the hangar, which are a huge change. You're no longer stuck flying everywhere, and that alone makes the hangar so much better. There's also a guy named Rooster who's been added into the hangar who can passive source cargo for you, but unfortunately I wouldn't recommend using him. He picks a random cargo type, and that kills your bonus potential, especially with some of those higher end crates. To make good money, stick with one good type. Selling cargo is super solo friendly now as well if you do the land sale missions. Most of the missions will be exclusively on the ground and pretty fun, and probably the best part of the hangar business is that the crates cost nothing to source, so you keep every dollar you make. And if you own Higgins Heli Tours,